Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Now, today we are going to be focusing on our wrists, on our mobility, and on our strength, and giving them a nice good stretching out. Now, this class will be a great warm-up for any other classes or as a standalone practice if you're wanting a lower impact yoga flow for the day. Now, if that sounds good to you, go ahead and roll out your mat and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Now we're going to begin our class today with some happy elephants. So heel toeing the feet towards the outer edges of our mat. Extend the arms to a T, pull shoulder blades in towards the spine. So we have nice long collarbones. We'll splay the fingertips out nice and wide and do some jazz hands. Wiggle out the fingers. Now we'll twist open in one direction and then twist open in the other, flowing back and forth, letting the arms move of their own free will. And we'll let the arms run out of momentum, coming to rest by our sides. And we'll walk the feet back in a little closer to a more comfortable place. Now interlocking our fingers out in front of us. And we'll do some gentle warm-ups with some figure eights, looping the wrists side to side. Make sure to switch which direction you're looping around from. Good. We'll bring the hands back out in front of us. Fingertips will stay intertwined, but we'll bring the palms away from each other. And then flip the palms so they're facing out in front of the body. Now we can drop chin to chest and roll through the upper spine as we press the palms forward. And we'll start to lift the arms, lift the chest, lift the eyes. And we'll move from a curled spine to a micro back bend as we lift the palms up towards the ceiling. Bringing the hands back down to a more neutral place out in front of the body. And we'll gently pull back on one of our wrists. So we're adding a bend to one arm, still pressing the palm of the opposite arm out in front. And then we'll switch sides, drawing back on one arm, putting a bend in, pressing forward with the other palm. You might go back and forth a little. Good, and then unentwine the hands, we'll shake them out. And shake out the arms and shake out the upper body. And with an in-breath, we'll lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale to cactus. We'll pull those shoulder blades into the spine again, maybe adding a baby back bend. Then we'll bring the eyes forward again. Inhale to reach the arms up. And with our exhale, we'll hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift, reaching forward with the top of the head. Very lightweight, if no weight, in the hands. Exhale to fold forward, and we'll take a little bit of time here to wiggle out the rest of the body, maybe pedaling the legs or swiveling the hips. We can grab for opposite elbows and find a sway to the upper body. And making our way back to center, inhaling for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll nod the head yes, and shake the head no. We'll let the arms be heavy down from the shoulders, be loose like wet noodles. And from here, we'll add a little more bend to the knees and start to ragdoll or slowly roll our way back up to standing. We'll find some shoulder rolls or some shrugs, some light side to side of the neck at the top. And then we'll bring the hands out in front of the body again. Now we're going to squish the hands in, forming fists and really tightening the hands in. And then extending them out wide and wiggling the fingers and into a tight ball. And splaying them out, wiggles. And we'll go back and forth as we build some strength in the lower part of the wrist or the inside of the wrist. Now this can also be done with a tennis ball or any squishy ball, where you squish the ball and then release, and squish and release. Good, we'll drop the arms down and wiggle out again, and we'll make our way to the top of our mat. With a big breath in, lifting up towards the ceiling. Exhale to cactus, maybe add that baby back bend. Inhale to lift, exhale fold. Inhale halfway lift, exhale to fold. Now plant the hands down, stepping, walking, or hopping our feet back to a plank. We're going to pause here. Now really spreading those fingertips out as wide as we can, and then pressing into the earth with the ends of the fingers. We'll end up with this hollow space under the middle knuckle of each finger. And that's what we want, really gripping into the ground with the fingertips. Now we can move straight to our down dog, sending the hips up and back behind. Or we can add a vinyasa by shifting forward. Chaturanga to our up dog or our cobra. And then sending the hips up and back behind for our down dog. Still gripping into the earth with the fingertips. And we'll wiggle out the legs. And we'll bend the knees and drop the knees down to the floor. Shifting forward to our tabletop pose. We'll bring the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we'll move back and forth with our cat-cows. With an in-breath, shine chest forward, lift the eyes and the tailbone up as we lower the abdomen towards the floor. With our exhale, we'll curl into center, chin to chest, tailbone under, arch up through the mid-spine. And we'll move back and forth with the breath. And make our way back to our nice flat tabletop back. We'll start to walk the hands in towards the knees so we can sit on the heels. If this is completely uncomfortable in your body, first try tucking the toes under to give a little more space to the knees. And if it's still uncomfortable, that's okay. Find an easy seat or a more comfortable seat today, because we're going to take a little bit of time here. And with our in-breath, we'll reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop the left hand down beside the body. Reach the right hand up and over. Inhale through center, opposite side. Drop the right hand down. Reach the left up and over. And we'll move or flow side to side, finding our side stretch. And we'll make our way back to center again. Now we're going to stretch out the wrists a little further. So if you're seated in an easy seat, you may have to adjust a little bit and find the right spot, because it's easier to lean over when we're up on the knees. So maybe adding a pillow underneath the hips will give you the leverage you need to press the hands to the ground in front of you to stretch out the wrists. So we're going to take the palms down towards the floor. Fingertips are out in front of the body. But then we're going to take each palm around so the hands or the fingertips are pointed back at the knees. Now gently rocking back or shifting our center of gravity further back the mat so that we're stretching up this inside of our wrist. And we'll shift forward again, take some of the pressure out. Now our fingertips will be pointed off the sides of our mat, and we'll bring the inside of the wrists pretty close together as we start to shift side to side. We're still gripping the earth with the ends of the fingers. And we'll shift back, take some of the weight out of the hands so we can turn them all the way around so fingertips are now pointed into each other. And we'll do the same, shifting side to side. Shifting back again, and this time we'll place the top of the hand down to the floor in front of us so the palms are up to the ceiling. Now this may be enough of a stretch already, and that is perfectly fine. We can stay here, or we can shift a little further back, stretching out the top of our wrist. This time we'll shift a little further forward so we can flip one hand at a time and then rock back to our seated position, and we'll shake the arms out. And we'll move to our cactus. So again, we can move to an easy seat, or we can sit here on the heels. We'll spread the fingertips out nice and wide, palms out in front of the body. Pull shoulder blades into the spine so we have a lot of space across the front of our chest. And then we'll start to slide the eyes up the wall, maybe pressing the chest forward a little further. And then with our exhale, we'll curl into center, pressing the palms and forearms together, dropping chin to chest and rolling through the spine. Inhale to open to our cactus, send the chest forward. So we're finding our seated variation to our cat-cows with a press of the hands and the forearm as we shift forward. And we'll move back to our neutral again, dropping the hands into our lap or shaking them out some more. And we'll start to walk forward and lower our abdomen all the way down to the floor. Now we'll take the fingertips out past the edges of our mat and then up a little bit higher. Now tenting onto the hands, onto the fingertips, so our palms are completely up off of the ground. Our hands kind of look like spiders. We'll press into the tops of our feet, into our fingertips, and with our inhale, we'll lift the chest up off the mat. And with our exhale, we'll soften. And we'll do 3 more. With an inhale, lifting up. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift. And 1 more. Good. Slide the hands in a little closer so they're underneath of the shoulders now. We'll tuck the toes under, press up to our plank, and then send the hips up and back, down dog. We'll wiggle out a little further here, pressing the fingertips into the earth. We'll slide the hands in a little closer to the toes. Take the feet a little further apart, add more of a bend to the knee, and then really press the hands into the earth so we can send the tailbone up and back behind. We'll do that again, sliding the hands in a little closer, pausing, send the tailbone up and back behind. And we'll keep walking the rest of the way in until we've made it to our forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive the arms. We'll send them up to the ceiling. Exhale, hinging from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And 1 more time, drop the arms straight down from the shoulders. Let them hang loose. We'll nod the head yes, and shake the head no. And we'll slowly start to roll back up the spine. Really taking your time with this one. And find some shoulder rolls or shrugs or a light side to side with the neck. And we'll make our way to our Tadasana. Bringing feet under knees, under hips. Pull the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Rotate the palms forward. Close the eyes. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Take a little bit of time to still the body and quiet the mind. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy. Now, if you have made it this far, be sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. And if you really liked this class, please check out my Patreon and think about supporting at any level. Thank you.